5 rookies in the starting lineup tonight. What does that reset for that, maybe that quote-unquote last piece of development, like where guys, kind of learn in the big leagues and go through the bumps in the road, but to do it together after these guys spend so much time together in the minors?
I think it means a lot. I mean, man, you look at the other lineup here, and it's really good and really exciting. And so I think that you pick up, and I'm thinking about my own experience, you pick up a lot from watching other people play, but then you pick up the most from watching other people play and then talking about it with your friends. And I think that we're seeing probably some of that here.
It's no coincidence that lineup over there also had like 3, 4, 5 rookies at a time, not that long ago also.
Yeah, I think it seems to be like part of the model now in baseball. Like, these guys are good enough players and they're getting better faster than when I was playing. So, you find opportunities to put them in the big leagues and you see what guys have done. Like, I think I would highlight like what Jack's been able to do coming up from Double-A. Kid's never had a Triple-A at bat, and he's homering off of really, really good big league players.
Why do you think when these guys step into a big league clubhouse and onto a big league field, why have they not looked overmatched at all?
Huge credit to the major league staff. The environment here and the way players are treated, I think the culture that Schulte sets gives players the opportunity to go out and be themselves. I think Schulte had a lot of experience under Joe Madden. I have some experience under Joe Madden as well, and I think a lot about those Cubs teams. And when younger players were called up, the same kind of thing, same kind of experience happened for those guys. Just right out into the fire, into big situations, just go out and be yourself, play baseball the way you know how to play baseball. And it's one thing for me to say that out loud, but it's another thing to build an environment and a coaching culture like we've done here in the major leagues, where players actually get out and actualize that. I think we've seen that here.
John, is it fair to say, that's the direction the Pirates are headed, where you guys have to have younger players coming up, contributing right away, younger players pushing each other? Like, there's, I don't know, not such thing as like too much of a good thing, right? Like getting a lot of those players competing against themselves.
Yeah, no, like the guys are competitive with each other for sure. But at the end of the day, like it's a hard thing. It's a hard balance like a fine line to walk, where you want to be competitive with the people that you're playing with, but you also need to keep rooting for them, because what we all want is to win the game when the lights come on, and what everybody wants in the minor leagues is to play in the major leagues, and what everybody in the major league wants is to be able to play every day. So there's these little kind of thresholds of competition, and if we can keep a positive clubhouse culture like they're doing here, then guys are both competing and rooting for each other, and that's something I think that's essential for this process to work for a long period of time.
We talked a little bit with Schulte yesterday about Oneil Cruz and his development. Where is he at in his development, and what do you think it's going to take for him to make that next jump?
So, Oneil got challenged by the major league staff with being locked in and focused and hustling all the time, and he's met that challenge. I think we still see some times where the ball's on the ground or throw a ball away every once in a while, and those are things that he's always going to work on. We've never seen a 6'7" shortstop play Major League Baseball, and so there's no playbook or blueprint on developing somebody like that. To Oneil's credit, to Miguel Perez and Gary Green down there, to their credit, and to Schulte and the staff credit as well, the messaging's been very consistent, and it's just more of the same is what we need to see from Oneil, and those gradual improvements in throwing accuracy, in ball security. When those reach the right threshold, then I think Oneil's a contributing major league player with a chance to be a star.
Is it fair to say, John, at this point that his development, what you guys need to see from him, is defensively more than offensively? I know you guys don't rank them, but
I think it's seeing the complete player still. The complete player, like the versatility of being able to bounce into the outfield when needed, and he's met those challenges. Consistent focus in the at-bats and good swing decisions all the time are going to be critical for somebody like that, because when he swings at the right pitches, when he swings at the wrong pitches, I don't know if you guys saw the home run he hit last night, but he hit a ball last night that's ankle high out of the damn stadium. So yeah, we try. Hey, swing at the right pitches, except for when you do that, and that's good. But no, I think it's definitely a synthesis of all of those things. Like, we want to be smart about his development, because there is so much talent inside of that human being. That to push it too fast when something's not quite ready, I think could be really dangerous for his career.
Where does Oneil stand with, his outfield development right now? And, recent weeks you guys have brought up, 3 left-handed swinging outfielders. Does that maybe, I don't want to say de-emphasize, the importance of learning the outfield there, but does that maybe you focus a little more on shortstop development?
Well, he's doing both. He gets more time at shortstop than he does in the outfield. We just want to make sure that his outfield play is in a place where we never want to put Derek Shelton in a position where he doesn't want to put a player in a spot. So that's what we're working towards, is the ability for him to maybe start a game at shortstop, and then something happens and we pinch hit for someone, and now the spot for him to play is in left field or center field, and we feel comfortable bouncing him out there. He hasn't had a ton of game experience because of the injury last year that he would have gotten, so that's what we're waiting to see. It's just more game experience for him in the outfield. But I don't think it's de-emphasized anything.
Kind of a two-part question that I'm sure you're aware is on the mouths of your fan base or whatever. Like, is he close? And how do you guys handle the obvious, like, people want to see him here? I know it's your job to do what's best for his development, but I mean, he would be exciting. And, how do you sort of resist that temptation?
Well, I think it's kind of like Christmas. You want the present. I can think about being a kid and like, you want the present, you want to open it up. But I think we want to provide him the opportunity to not just be a good major league player, but to be a great major league player, and that just requires patience. So we hear it from the fans. I know that what the fans want in Pittsburgh is winning baseball, and that's what I'm trying to help create in my position. Great players for Schulte and DK to be able to put out onto the field, because ultimately we do want to win. And so, again, we just hope that we have to exercise enough patience and sensibility in this process, because yes, there's definitely pressure to get Oneil to the big leagues.
With thinking a little bit about how every rookie this season has made their first appearance at home, is there any fan appreciation for them to understand, like, we want you guys to be the first people to see them when they get up here?
Maybe there should be. That's a good question. I didn't realize that it worked out that way. And they did get to see him last year hit a ball over the Clemente wall last year for a homer on, again, a pitch that he probably shouldn't have swung at. But yeah, I think that when the time is right, whether on home or on the road, he'll be here, and I think it'll just be a bonus if it's PNC.
No hitter last night. Solomito's first win. Does that mean he's only going to get worse with every game he wins because he didn't give up a hit last night?
It's all down here from here for Solo.
How good is that though, to have like Henry catch a no hitter, Quinn and Anthony be a part of that? I mean, or is it just one game you don't? I mean, I don't know. Is there something to be gleaned from that? I guess.
Yeah, I mean, no hitters are special, and I think the most important thing for me, to be honest with you, is that both Quinn and Henry passed their health check after the game. So yeah, it's wonderful that they threw a no-hitter, and those things are so rare, and a big confidence booster for Henry Davis, who's really been, he's a great athlete who's really been focused on the soft skills, and to go into a new environment, meet people that he hasn't really caught a lot of time, Sweeney and Thibault coming in at the end of the game, and guide them through innings when the pressure's on, because it may not look like it if there's not 40,000 people in the stands at the Marauders game, but man, every out that you get closer to that 27th out and a no-hitter, there's more tension across the field. So what a wonderful opportunity for all of our players to experience and go through that. A great thing for Henry, and yeah, absolutely a great thing for Solo. And one thing I've learned about Solo is that, like, I think his expectation is that every time he goes out and pitches, he throws a no-hitter. So I think we may have reinforced that yesterday.
So if he gives up a hit, that's a problem. Hey, you waited to put him in the games until this season, and you're slowly working him in with each start. He's had good results so far. Why take that tack with the high school arm that you drafted high last year?
So the gap between Solo's last appearance in high school and the draft was so long that it's like dangerous, and he's the first one out of the complex because he's incredibly mature and composed and on top of the routine all the time and throwing strikes with all the pitches. But these guys have inning limits that we need to build towards, and we have to be smart about it. This is not 1986 where we just throw him right into AA because we drafted him in the second round and sink or swim, and maybe that guy's a big leaguer, but then maybe he just blows out because he doesn't know how to take care of himself. That's obviously not any of these young pitchers that we drafted last year, but we're just, again, trying to be very smart and thoughtful and considerate about what is best to make these players long-term major leaguers.
While we're talking guys at that level, Bubba Chandler, how's he doing? Is he still doing the two-way thing?
Bubba Chandler's still hitting, yeah. Bubba Chandler's still hitting. He's a funny one, man. The pitching looks awesome right now. He's really working on landing his breaking ball. And when we see him consistently do that, we'll see him pitching in grade 2 and probably DH in a couple days a week.
I think this question could apply to any of the rookies up here on the major league staff, but I want to just focus on Rowe for a little bit because, I mean, he's a bit of a different animal here because he's just this type of special pitcher. What can the coaching staff, teammates, whoever do to help nourish, that jump to the major leagues for him to make sure that he can just go and run like he has?
Well, I think, we're really fortunate here to have a major league staff that builds relationships, and I would say one of the things that maybe doesn't get talked about enough is that you have a pitching coach that's fluent Spanish, which I think really makes for some comfortability when young Latin pitchers come up to the big leagues. And we were at a place with Rowe after a couple starts in AAA where we're looking at a pitching. I'm like, I don't know what we're going to be able to do to make this any better right now. So it's time for us to pass him on to people that have been working for a longer amount of time with higher level players that we trust. So hard for me to say. I think a much better person to answer that question really well would be Oscar, because he graduated from Pirates player development finishing school, and now he's got and I guess the easy answer here as a former catcher would just be consistency. Rowe's got such a slow heartbeat, and consistency and getting experiences in environments like this one tonight. I think that's good for him.